Hey y'all, what's going on? Okay, so here's the thing. I have been for the past forever. Ignore the things behind me. My apartment's a mess, and I just cannot figure out how to not be. So I have been trying. Do you see it glitching? I'm actively losing my mind because why is it glitching? Why is it not smooth? Why are we glitching? I am plugged in with my Ethernet, so I don't know what's going on. My hair is wet. I haven't even finished my coffee yet. The frustration today is so real with this weather. Yes, this snow sucks. If you guys got weather last night, I hope it was better than the weather that we got because we got some crap weather. It is garbage. I'm plugged in, so the internet. Why is the internet dropping? Is my thing. So as we are going through this, I am going to be actively reaching out to StreamYard to be like, how do I fix this? Because I would like this to not happen. That would be great. That would be really great. Because you tell me to do a thing and I do the thing, and then the thing is not good enough. But I pay for you to not be trash. So that's what we're doing. That's what's happening. I'm kind of thinking I need to move my camera a little bit. Do I? I don't know. I don't have space. I don't have like a normal table. Anywho, okay, so what we're going to do today is we are going over pretty much from top to bottom, a little in between the Evelyn Boswell case. They're calling it something else. They're calling it the Megan Boswell case, the baby Evelyn murder trial. But baby Evelyn was the human being who is no longer with us. So it is Evelyn's case. It is the case to find justice for little baby Evelyn. We're going to start with opening statements from the prosecution, from the defense. We're going to touch on a couple of witnesses because I looked at a couple of witnesses. That's what I was just kind of queuing stuff up. That's why I'm definitely later than I needed to be. The snow was not what we expected. We expected a little bit of, by a little bit of snow, like a foot of snow. I expected like 6-7 inches of snow, maybe 8, right? And then maybe with just like a little dusting of ice on top. But what we got was like 3-4 inches of just slushy, icy snow. And it's terrible. I had to make a normal like 20-minute drive on the highway last night, and it was maybe a couple hours after everything started. It was just like a normal 20, like normally 20-minute drive, 45 minutes. 45 minutes. You guys might see my cat. Might not. He's a jerk. He's looking at me. So we're gonna do opening statements, a couple of witnesses. We're gonna watch some interrogation video, and by interrogation video, just an interview, just like 2 interview videos. And then we're going to watch a witness who's like her best friend. And then we will. I have a bunch of timestamps. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of court. 7 separate videos lined up, ready to go. Hi, little guy. I know. Hi, you're so chatty today. And so we're going to then end with closing arguments and verdict, and then if anything needs to come after the verdict, we will handle that as well. So that's what we're doing, and this trial just happened. It just ended like a couple days ago, so that's the plan for today. As we're going through opening statements, I will pop off screen. I need to I need like I need a food. I need a food for the day. Hey Ray, what's going on? What is happening? I need a food. I need to grab my earbuds so I can hear what the heck's going on. My cat is on top of something that's going to fall over and make a big noise. Um, streaming from home is not my. Do you see him? Hi. I just have stacks of Legos back there that I have not even opened yet. You're going to push that right off. Thank you. Nice. Good. Oh my gosh. Cats. Okay, so we're going to start. Oh, are you? Okay. Is that today or hi? How are you? Is that today, Ray? Also very sad. Very sad. All right. We will get started. I just got to go grab something real fast. And then we will get going Wednesday. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, good. Good. And now my cat's licking the desk. There's nothing on the desk to lick. So he's an idiot and we'll probably see a lot of him today. All right, here we go. Give me a second. My eye is swollen. Do we see this? Okay, look. Do we see this? That's from him. I can't. It's just too much. It's just too much. Great. Cool. Good. Give me 1 second. Just give me a quick minute. Quick. Okay, so my cat. I swear. Let's get going into, shall we? Let me get rid of this. I don't need this. Perfect. Share screen. Day 1. And we'll just make sure everything is sorted. I will be listening. We're going to listen to opening statements first for the Evelyn Boswell murder case. Let me... So Tennessee has some great accents. I will put on closed captioning and I will put it up top.
Based upon the last 2 days of our jury selection, we all know that Evelyn Boswell would be 6 years old.
Oh,
she would be possibly in
queued you up.
kindergarten, learning to read.
All right. Queued up.
It's not guilty.
Almost perfectly. Thank you. Thank you. He's a jerk, but he really is cute, so that helps for him. You know, that helps. Okay, we will be listening before we continue. If you also, hi, it's just Janine. Welcome. My name's Lily. I'm not a lawyer. I'm actually gonna Tough helps in this case for sure. I'm not a lawyer. I am just a person. I'm a juror, essentially, is how I treat when I talk about these legal cases. New channel, slow vibe. I'm not, you know, I'm not out here to make massive moves, but it's awesome. It's nice to meet you. Please ignore the glitchiness. I am so sorry. I will be talking to StreamYard right now. It's a whole thing. Um, if you're on Wi-Fi, it's glitchy. They say plug in. I plug in and then it's glitchy. And so I don't know. Are we working on that? But thank you for popping in and clicking on something that no one else really is clicking on, which I appreciate it. I'm gonna run my intro. I'm not a lawyer, but I really like trials. I really like justice. I'm really here for people getting what they deserve in the eyes of the law. Also a little bit ACAB, just prepare for that. But other than that, we're just chatting as humans, learning the trial process. We're not. I'm not here to be an educator, but it's kind of like a group learning situation. So every case we do, we kind of build on our knowledge and like appreciation for the trial process and getting all that. So thanks for popping in. Let's run the intro before I forget, because I always forget, and then we will get going. I love that. Yes, we learn together. It's like it's my goal. It's my goal. I will you're a secretary at a law firm. Oops, where'd it go? Never get to go to court with everyone else, so this is pretty cool to see. Oh my god. Very interesting. I could only imagine like the things that come across like your desk and stuff. Like that's crazy. Yeah, so we're all like secretly like patiently wanting to be jurors, but like also getting some of the behind the scenes is so cool. Yeah, learning is so fun, and especially when it's something that you're interested in, it's like I'm having a really good time. But when you try to read a book that like just really isn't piquing your interest, but like you have to because you paid for the course, it's like, oh. So I think doing this is super fun. And this is you caught us at a great time because we're just starting the Evelyn Boswell murder case. So let's jump into opening statements. I'm gonna be off screen. I'll be listening. I might be running back to to scream about something that's going to make me mad, because there's a lot of things that are going to make me mad in this case. It's a very heavy case. A little baby is no longer with us. A little baby does not get to grow up in this world due to actions that other people decided to take. So if that is hard for you, feel free to step away. If you ever need a minute, take a minute. Do not traumatize yourself or trigger yourself unnecessarily. But let's begin. And I'm going to go yell at StreamYard for being mean to me constantly.
Today we're going to talk about Evelyn Boswell for a few minutes. In 2019, Evelyn Boswell was a bright, growing little girl, full of life, healthy, learning to walk, learning to talk, doing all the things that a 12-month-old child would do. Which means today, 5 years later, Evelyn Boswell would be 6 years old. She would be possibly in kindergarten, learning to read, maybe taking her first ballet class or her first soccer game, learning to tie her shoes, all of the things that we think of that are firsts for 6-year-old children. But based upon the last 2 days of our jury selection, we all know that Evelyn Boswell is not going to do any of those things.
When it came time to take things to the next level, I knew that I had to make a website, and Wix was perfect.
We all know that all of that was taken away from her in December of 2019.
No free ads.
Megan Boswell. And her life wasn't just cut short. It's not just a tragedy. Her life was violently ripped away from her. And we can all agree that it's a shock. It's a tragedy when a child dies. It's upsetting. It upsets all of us. You'll hear phrases like gone too soon. What a tragedy. A child had such a life ahead of them. And a lot of times it is a tragedy. And in this case, it's a tragedy too. But in this case, it was a preventable tragedy. There's so much more to this story that you are going to hear, because Evelyn did not have to die. Evelyn could be here today. And so today, 5 years later, we are asking you to give justice to Evelyn Boswell. During this trial, you will learn that the one person, Evelyn's mother, Megan Boswell, who was entrusted more than anyone else to take care of her, to keep her safe, to protect her, that she failed her in the worst possible way. You will hear proof that the last time Evelyn Boswell was seen alive was December 6th, 2019. You're going to hear that date a few times during this trial. That is the last time that Evelyn Boswell was seen alive. And that was just a few weeks after her first birthday. And you're going to hear from many witnesses who saw Evelyn frequently, saw her all the time, family members, Megan Boswell's friends, that all of a sudden are like, where's Evelyn? Where's Evelyn? We're not seeing. They're concerned. And they would ask Megan Boswell about it. And every time Megan had an answer. Megan concocted a story. And I'm not going to tell you now what she said. You're going to hear that in the proof. But she told all kinds of different stories, depending on the person that she was talking to. And you will hear from those witnesses today. But you will hear, or this week, but you will hear there was concern. But, they knew Megan. They thought they knew Megan, I should say. And so they wanted to trust that what she was telling them was the truth. But it was not the truth. So after December, what happens next? We have Christmas, New Year's. Where's Evelyn? There is no Evelyn. You will not see any proof that Evelyn was seen at Christmas, New Year's. Then we jump to January. The entire month of January 2020, 31 days. Where's Evelyn? There's no Evelyn. People are really starting to get concerned, and Megan Boswell continues to concoct stories of where Evelyn is to try to help people make sense so she can keep this going. The entire month, February 2020. Where's Evelyn? Again, at this point, family is really starting to get concerned that they have not seen Evelyn. And they're asking questions. Months pass. We're not talking about weeks. We are talking about over 2.5 months that Evelyn Boswell is missing. The defendant is not even just canceling her well visits. She's no showing. She's just not showing up because she knows where Evelyn is. But again, even to the pediatrician's office, she has to concoct a story about forgetting the appointment maybe, or I got my days mixed up. Always a story. Always a story. So we know now, we did not know then, but we know now that from early December, Evelyn Boswell, even though it had not been reported by Megan Boswell, Evelyn Boswell was a missing child from early December until almost the end of February. She was a missing child. And the only person who knew that, the person who was entrusted to take care of her the most, is the only person who knew that Evelyn was actually missing. And she just left it unreported. Over 2 months later, finally, Megan Boswell's dad, Tommy Boswell, finally essentially puts an ultimatum down on his daughter and says, I'm tired of the stories. If you don't show me my grandchild by the next day, I'm essentially calling the police. Well, Megan knew she could not do that, and she did not do that. And Tommy Boswell finally was the one to report Evelyn missing on February 18th of 2020. Finally, law enforcement gets involved. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation gets involved. The FBI gets involved. All hands on deck to find this missing child. She's finally reported missing. But it's important to note that it was not Megan Boswell that reported her child missing. Megan Boswell never reported her child missing. So you're going to hear from December of 2019 until February of 2020, when it's finally reported, that the defendant's biggest believable story, that really is probably what kept the family from reporting earlier, is she was saying that Evelyn was with her father, Ethan Perry. And you'll hear a lot about Ethan Perry, and you'll get to hear from Ethan Perry yourselves. Ethan Perry is actually not Evelyn's father, but Megan led them to believe that he was the father. And
And you know what's absolutely shocking? Because like it's definitely and this is the most ultimate level of like terrible, or like one of the most ultimate levels of terrible in my opinion. But like we continue to see this we continue to see this stuff. We continue to see it. It doesn't end, which is absolutely mind-blowing because w- why doesn't it end? Like there's so what I have to do is continue to ask myself, I come from a family full of psychologists. So I have to continue to ask myself, like, what is continuously ignored in the human being, like in your neighbor, in your friend, in your, your group of we went to college together, or, oh, I know that person who knows that person. And, like what is an attribute or some sort of reasoning, some sort of like characteristic that is continuously ignored in a person that we can't science has come so far and we can't catch this before it happens, you know? Like, we can't minority report this, like, we can't be like, "Oh, this person is going to do a bad thing." Like, they're not allowed to have a child because they're going to do a bad thing to the child. Like, the abuse against children is so constant, and it makes me so furious inside my body, and that's from someone who doesn't want kids. I don't want kids. I'm in my 30s, I don't want kids. I'm not going to have kids. My partner does not want kids. We are not going to have kids, but there is something so fervent inside of my body that, like, you always protect children no matter what. You do no harm to a child. Like, it's so mind-boggling. It's so mind-boggling to me. Absolutely
everyone,
boggled.
for
Absolutely
all
boggled.
purposes, also believed Ethan Perry was the father. So to the family, they're like, well, that's good. He's stepping up. The father's stepping up. That's good. We're proud of him. And that is the story that Megan Boswell told mostly to her family, to her friends. You were going to hear a lot of testimony about her just telling everyone that Ethan Perry has gotten Evelyn. First, you'll hear that they're trading weeks, but doesn't make sense because people are still not seeing Evelyn. So then Megan took it one step further where he took her to court and got emergency custody, blaming her for something. And again, not true. There was never court. There were no documents. Juvenile court was never involved. It was just another story that Megan Boswell was telling because she knew where Evelyn was, and she had to keep perpetuating this lie. Interestingly enough, she didn't think it through completely because Ethan Perry at the time was in the Army in Louisiana. He lived in barracks, and I think we all understand and know that in the barracks, there's not going to be a toddler running around. But Megan Boswell, in perpetuating that story, she didn't care. She got the entire Army involved in this to go investigate this poor guy who was trying to serve our country in Louisiana, pulling him out of his duty. I can't imagine the chaos that caused, all because Megan Boswell wanted to perpetuate this lie. And Ethan Perry didn't even see Evelyn in December. You will hear that he came in to visit his grandparents on leave. He never saw Evelyn Boswell over Christmas or over December. We all know why now. But at the time, Megan again tells the story. Evelyn has the flu. She can't come. And you will hear a testimony that no one saw. No one, not Ethan Perry or anyone else, saw Evelyn Boswell in December. The hard part. From early December of 2019 until later when her body was found, Evelyn was always in the same place. And Megan Boswell knew that. Megan Boswell knew that because she is the one that put Evelyn there. She placed Evelyn's body in a kitchen trash can, her own trash can from her home, from the trailer that she shared with Evelyn. And she hid that trash can in her own childhood playhouse on her father's property, a playhouse that you will see no one has been in for a very long time. And that it was Megan's, personal to Megan, not to anyone else. And you're going to hear that Evelyn was put into the trash can upside down is the best way to describe it, head down, in a bag of trash, filled with food debris, broken eggs, her body just placed in there by the defendant. You will see that there was a blanket tightly wrapped around Evelyn's body, pulled up over her face, and quite a bit of aluminum foil then wrapped around her head. The blanket completely covering her face, the foil completely covering her head. Upside down in a trash can, still in her purple fleece onesie and diaper. And as terrible as it is to say, you are going to hear that she just wasn't placed in the trash can, but then another trash bag was placed on top of her. And that trash bag was shoved down into the trash can, compressing Evelyn into the trash can. That's what we're dealing with today. And you're going to hear proof that directly links only one person to this crime, this horrendous crime. You are going to hear that the only person linked to this crime is sitting at this table right here. You are going to hear it from many witnesses. You're going to hear all of the stories that she concocted, the lies that she told, and you're going to hear forensic evidence that links the defendant, Megan Boswell, and only the defendant, Megan Boswell, to this crime. One step further. This entire time, Evelyn is decaying, decomposing in this trash can, again, upside down and compressed. What is Megan Boswell doing? Is she mourning her child? Is she worried? Is she scared? What is she doing? What would a mother be doing? Well, it's not what Megan Boswell was doing. And you're going to hear that because Megan Boswell got a new boyfriend, and it conveniently happened at pretty much exactly the same time that Evelyn disappears. When no one sees Evelyn again, Megan Boswell has decided she's just going to, Evelyn just out of the head, and she's moving on with her life. And she is living her best life, and you will hear that. She has this new boyfriend who has money, or at least she thinks he has money, and she's going to have a better life for herself, not her child, but for herself. You will hear that she takes trips. She's clearly falling in love. She moves out of the trailer that she was living in with her child and moves in with this guy within weeks into his home in a very nice neighborhood in Bluntville, Tennessee. You are going to hear testimony that Megan Boswell is taking trips to Gatlinburg, to Pigeon Forge, staying at Margaritaville Hotel, all while her child is upside down, decomposing in a trash can. You will never hear that Megan Boswell was upset, mourning her child, crying. All she does is continue to concoct lies to cover up what she did. Is that what a mother does? So you will hear that when Tommy Boswell reports, it's essentially all hands on deck with law enforcement. Immediately, law enforcement goes into action, and you are going to hear so much proof about how much effort went into finding this baby, how much time and hours worked by every law enforcement agency in North Carolina, East Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, everyone putting their efforts into trying to find this little girl and hoping, just hoping to find her alive. So then Megan Boswell then, of course, comes clean, right? Once law enforcement's involved, because Megan knows where Evelyn is, so she's gonna tell law enforcement, right? The answer is no. You probably can gather that by General Harper reading the indictment for about 40 minutes this morning. Megan Boswell continues to perpetuate her stories, concocting anything, blaming anyone else, Ethan Perry, for a day, 2 days. She continues that story of Ethan Perry. Then you'll hear she admits that's not true. So then she tries to blame her mom, her own mom. She decides to try to blame to try to get out of this because she knows this snowball is rolling down this hill and she's trying to stop it the best she can. Why is she doing that? It's because she knows that she brutally murdered her child and she's trying to cover it up. And maybe she had that hope that Evelyn would never be found. And even to this day, 5 years later, Evelyn would still be a missing child. The defense said something really interesting in jury selection yesterday afternoon that I want to touch on. He said to you, you only have one chance to get this right. Do you remember that? Then he said, Megan only has one chance to get this right. Do you remember that? I submit to you, Megan Boswell has already had her chance. She was gifted with a beautiful child, a healthy, vibrant little girl. Evelyn was perfect. Megan Boswell already had her chance. So today is Evelyn's chance. Today is our chance to get it right, not Megan's. Today's our chance to get it right for Evelyn. I know this is not easy for any of you. Thank you for serving. I promise you that this is not easy for any of us. It is not easy for any of us. But it's so important for us to be here today. You know you're going to see pictures that you don't want to see. You know you're going to hear things that you don't want to hear. But that's how we tell Evelyn's story. What she endured before her death, during her death, and even after her death. And where she had to sit for months while her mother continued to live her life as if Evelyn didn't exist. Ladies and gentlemen, at the close of this proof, we believe you will be left with no doubt at all, that the defendant, Megan Boswell, is guilty as charged in every count of the indictment. Thank you.
Thank you. Good shot.
It's so disturbing and it is so utterly frustrating. But these attorneys have a job to do.
Morning.
The defense has a job to do, and they are going to do their job. This defendant deserves her day in court. I guess. In my opinion, no. But the law is the law, you know? So here we go. We're going to listen to how the defense is going to approach driving some little seeds of doubt into the minds of this jury. Oh, man.
She's right about some things. And this is a terrible situation. There's a child, 13-month-old child, dead in a trash can. There's no getting around that.
Hold on just a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have you go through this.
One second, please. I'll have you.
Why is the jury leaving? We do not know. Let's find out.
Who are you with? All right. Are you the designated still photographer?
Yes, sir.
If that flash goes off again, you'll have 10 days in jail.
Sorry.
The order's very clear.
Yes, Your
There'll be
Honor.
no lights, there'll be no flash. That's disruptive to the jury, that's disruptive to the lawyers, that's disruptive to this process, and I'm not even kidding. If I see another light, whoever it comes from will immediately be held in criminal contempt of this court, take you to jail for 10 days.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I have it on not flash on my settings.
Well, it went off because it was right in my face. Now, I got a feeling that one or two of them is going to get it back. It's going to take us like 15.
Oh boy. Okay, so no flash photography. The order was written in stone, and he just threatened 10 days in jail for the still photographer if her flash goes off again. One singular time. I have sent in a ticket to StreamYard because I'm absolutely furious. Like, I am going to scream so bloody loud. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I am plugged in. I'm plugged in. They want me to plug in. Oh, frame rate. Oh, your stream won't drop. Stream won't drop. You won't be glitchy if you plug in. I plugged in. Why is it continuously doing this? Oh, I'm going to scream. It's not anything you guys are doing. It is within the issues of StreamYard for sure, because I can do a speed test. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Right now. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so frustrated. Utterly frustrated. Perfect. Extremely fast. So what is the issue? Okay, let's get back to
15 minutes.
um
So we'll take about 10 minutes.
Court stands in recess.
so because the jury left, they and like are probably going to take a little bit of time. They're going to just take a quick little break just so the jury can go to the restroom, come on back, and get situated. Again, the jury is coming back in.
Okay. I just thought I believe you were about to begin your opening statement.
Don't really know where I was at.
You start over.
I was. that was the first line. I don't really know where I was at, but when Ms. Massey, she's right about a lot of things. I mean, there's not a person in this courtroom who wants to be here discussing a dead child. Nobody. Not you all, not me. But the state asks you to convict Megan Boswell of first-degree murder. It's very interesting what they've done. They've asked you to convict Megan Boswell of first-degree murder in 3 different ways. They've asked you to find that it's a premeditated and intentional killing of her child. And then they're asking you to find that it's a murder that is perpetrated as part of child abuse. And then they're saying, well, if it's not that, surely it's because of child neglect. That's a problem. The state's theory is reasonable doubt in and of itself. They don't know what happened. They don't know how that child died, and they can't prove how that child died. I expect you'll hear from a couple of different medical examiners who come to somewhat the same conclusion, but one medical examiner, I think you'll hear from her, and she has a very interesting theory. But I would suggest to you that her theory is flawed, and the proof will show you why it's flawed. Just like yesterday, I was talking about in board hour, I think I asked a couple of you about the scientific method. And if you put in incorrect data, would you get incorrect results? And you will, if it's significant data significance. The state asks you, I anticipate this medical examiner, based on her testimony in another hearing, is going to say that the child was alive when it was placed in the trash can. But then again, the state says Megan's guilty of abuse of a corpse. Those theories are not consistent. They're not consistent with this. What the state hasn't talked to you about is the possibility, what if this was accidental? What if Megan or Hunter Wood rolled over on that child in the bed? And I find this unreasonable, honestly. I find it unreasonable that you roll over on your child in the bed and you don't call 911. And I'm 49 years old. I practice law for 25 years. Ms. Harper talked about yesterday how your life experiences are different. And mine are certainly different than Megan's. When this child died, she was 18 years old. Now, you heard about what a great father Tommy Boswell was, the kind of father he was. What you didn't hear is Megan had that child while she was in foster care. That's how involved Tommy Boswell was. She was in foster care when she had the child. I think you'll hear a lot in this trial about how she came up. And I like to tell people, and I do tell people, I've never had a hard day in my life. I've never went hungry. I've never not had a place to live. I've never fought a war, and I've never lost a child. And I can't put myself in the position of someone who has lost a child. But that's what I'm going to ask you to do. Put yourself in Megan Boswell's position. She's 18 years old. She's got an older boyfriend. We expect the proof will be that He tells her, don't involve me with this. I don't want to be involved. Because they're scared they're going to get charged with something. That's going to be the proof in this case. And my reaction and your reaction would be different. I would certainly call 911, but I'm not 18 years old. And sometimes I think back to myself and say, I would call 911 at 18 years old. And I probably would. But I know a lot of people at 18 years old who wouldn't. Their life experience is different. Their maturity is different. If any of you have kids, some of you probably know that. Now, I want to talk to you about about the indictment itself. We entered a not guilty plea to each and every count, but we persisted in that. But that probably seems disingenuous to some of you all about certain things, and I want to explain why. Count 7 through 17 charge false report. And to find a false report, they have alleged that she has acted with intent to obstruct or hinder an officer from preventing the offense or incident from occurring. Well, the case, the death of her daughter, the death had already occurred, when she gave her statements. So it's not to hinder an officer in preventing the offense now, or from continuing to occur. That's the first thing. So you have to determine, is she criminally responsible? Did she lie to the police? She absolutely lied to the police. I'm contesting that. So she said, again, an 18-year-old girl scared to death, talking to a TBI agent, talking to a police officer, and trying to explain this. She doesn't want to get in trouble. It doesn't mean she murdered her child. It doesn't mean she killed her child. What it means is that's her perception that she's going to get in trouble for this. And despite all the assertions to the contrary by the state, this is a trial, and I want to choose my words carefully. Ms. Maxwell talks about Evelyn. Now get this right for Evelyn. Get justice for Evelyn. Now I want you to hear me out before you judge my statement. There's nothing you all are going to do that's going to change anything, right? Not a thing. The child, no. Your job here today, and in the coming days and weeks, is to decide whether Megan's actions are criminal, whether they're not criminal. I'm not asking you to find her innocent of anything, because that's not your function. Your job is to determine whether the state can prove beyond a reasonable doubt and to a moral certainty that she committed each and every element of the offenses charged. And you're not going to be able to do that. Their theories are absolutely inconsistent. Premeditated murder, oh, well, if we can't prove that, maybe we'll get it by neglect. And I would suggest to you that the investigation into this case, once it focused on Megan Boswell, it focused on Megan Boswell. You'll see what little investigation there was into Hunter Wood, the boyfriend they talk about. It's like he's out of the picture. It's just Megan. But we expect the proof to show you that he was involved with it, that he placed that baby there, that he had access to that property. That he'd been a lifelong friend of Megan's brother, Tommy Boswell Jr., who goes by Mike. He knew where that stuff was. Now, there are other things about the body how it found that will come out in the proof. I'll bring those to your attention later. But they will show you that baby wasn't placed in that trash can dead. They will indicate to you that baby was probably moved. Also, want to touch again on the Smash Bill's talk about Tommy Boswell. Tommy Boswell just had an epiphany. Well, he had an epiphany after they searched his property over and over, after they'd run a cadaver dog by that building where the baby was and didn't get on it. Then one day he'll just pick up the phone and say, hey, I just got to thinking, Megan had this playhouse down here. Maybe you should come and search it. The cadaver dog didn't get it. Seems strange that the TBI searches your property, you would say, search all the buildings. Look at the playhouse. Why? Why are you having an epiphany days later? I bet I know where the child is. You'll hear from him. You'll hear it explain it. You can make your determination if you believe it. But ultimately, your task was to determine whether Megan killed that child. The child could have died of sudden death syndrome. Some upper range of sudden death syndrome is still there. And that child, I think that child's date of birth is middle of November. So when we say 13-month-old child, the child was barely 13 months. Could have died from that. It could have died from somewhere on the open, as they believe. Just negative. But certainly, disposing of that body the way we disposed of it is not excusable. It doesn't excuse anything. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean that. I want to talk to you about the last count we pled not guilty to on abuse or failure to report a suspicious death. And as indicted, the state chose to indict that for the death was from violence, trauma, or any suspicious or unusual or unnatural manner. Now, I can't deny she didn't report it. She didn't report it. There's no denying that. But what I would tell you is what that indictment leaves out is a key part of that statute. And had it included that, I would have pled guilty, had her plead guilty to that. And that talks about where the unexpected death of a child is severe health or sudden death syndrome. Had that been included, she would have said, I'm guilty of that. I did that. But it's not included because the indictment wants to make it that she committed a violent offense against the child. Lying to the police, improper disposal of the body, or whatever part she played in that, doesn't mean she murdered the child. It means she was an 18-year-old girl with pain. That's what you have to think about when you hear this proof. That's all I've got to say to you. I thank you for your time and attention. I know I probably cross-examined you a lot of it's fairly hard the other day. I mean no disrespect by that. I just want you to know in the jury selection process I did that because we got to have jurors that, make sure that you can be against. That's the only reason. I mean, absolutely no disrespect. If I'm hard on you, I apologize for that, but I don't apologize for saying nothing to me.
Thank you, Scott. General Clerk,
Stay with call agent Brian forever.
Well. Opening statements complete. Little Smoky Boy is not feeling it. He was very much not caring about a single thing that the defense was saying. Okay. Let me gather. We're going to see some witnesses. We're going to see some testimony. We're going to see some interrogation videos. My hair's drying somewhat. I'm cold. But I was also very hot in a sweater that I was just wearing. The struggle is so real today. So the defense making the accusation that this could have quite possibly been a sudden infant death syndrome case. In my opinion, sure, it could have been. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it was. I'm not saying with a definitive energy, yes, it could have been. But it's also an issue with the steps that were taken after baby Evelyn, if it was SIDS, which I think every parent, every person who is going to have a child needs to understand that SIDS still exists, which is absolutely insanity. Sudden infant death syndrome is exactly that. It is unexplainable passing of an infant. There's no explained reason. It's like babies are not good at staying alive. Like they're actively like trying to, and this is like outside of this case. Babies, you have to do so much with an infant, a newborn, um, to make sure that they don't just like roll over and on their face and then they can't breathe, or like that's why there's no pillow rule and the no blanket rule until a certain age. It's because babies aren't good at surviving on their own. They need other people, other humans, to do that for you. You need babies need you to make sure that they survive. But that does not negate that sudden infant death syndrome is still a diagnosis of why some young little tiny babies pass away. Do I think that SIDS played a role in this very specific case? Absolutely not. Is it a possibility? Yeah, in my brain, maybe like 0.01% chance. But it's about what happened after that baby was discovered. If it was a SIDS case, what happened after that baby was discovered deceased? Because the baby did not have did not suffer from SIDS before, or excuse me, after it was placed upside down inside of a trash can with material wrapped around its head and tinfoil wrapped around their head. So there's there's that. Did you find your baby no longer alive, and then you wrapped a blanket around their face, tinfoil around their head, and put them in the trash can? You're not okay. If so, that is still a problem, and it still needs to be handled in the judicial sense. The law needs to take time with you. You need to have a meetup with the law, and have those conversations. Do I think from these opening statements that Megan Boswell unalived her daughter? Yes, I do. I do. And that's what the jury is, in my opinion, also feeling. They were handed information studiously displayed. Here is this, here is a time frame, here are dates, here are missed appointments, here's the beginning of the story after story after story after story, lie after lie after lie after lie that you are going to be hearing about what Megan had told everybody to make up the reasoning of why Evelyn isn't there, why you're missing appointments, why this is like this because you don't have Evelyn. Where is Evelyn? There's always a story and a lie and a story and a lie. And so you got a fantastic sort of surmising of what's going to happen from the prosecution. You're going to feel really bad about the things that you hear. We are dealing with a really heavy topic. We are dealing with the potential of a mother ending the life of her own daughter because blank. And then the defense saying she was in foster care. Megan was in foster care when she had Evelyn. Okay. Okay. Does it suck? Yes. Is that really sad? Yes. Was it probably super annoying and extremely hard and something that only a very select people, very few people will ever actually experience in their life? Yes. Does that give her reason to murder her child after a year of having her? No. Never will. Never have, never will. Megan had a hard life. Sure. A lot of people had a hard life. A lot of people had really hard lives. But they do not murder someone else and get away with it because, oh my gosh, I had a tough past. My past was really hard growing up. My childhood was really difficult. So I murder now. Okay, well, also go to jail for forever. Because that's not an excuse. And it's not even a good enough reason. A good enough reason for murdering someone, in my opinion, is if they are actively trying to murder you. Then defense. You are defending your own life. The only thing you can do to protect your own life is harming someone extremely to either to the point where they are incapacitated or they are no longer with you. If they are actively attempting to take your own life, then and that's also in a very select situations. That's like, if you know what I'm saying. That's not a daily situation. But so here we are sitting with the very first bit of information that essentially the jury is going to hear about this case, about Megan, about Evelyn. They luckily, in my opinion, had a minute between the opening statements. They were not going to have a minute. They were not going to have a little bit of a break, a little bit of not inside of the courtroom fresh air from a very heavy start to the case. Absolutely difficult to listen to. We are not going to excuse me, we're not going to watch any more from day one. We are actually going into day two. And day two, we are going to start. There are witnesses. Actually, wait, did I miss this? I did. Okay, let's start with the senior special agent, Brian Fraley from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. It says it's continued, but I don't believe so. Let me just do a quick, super quick double check here, because I don't believe it was continued anything. Oh, okay. So they did start with him. Okay. We'll watch a little bit of this, and then we might skip a little forward to this very strong start. Very strong start. All right, let's share this one. Share screen.
Agent Fraley, how long have you been with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation?
19 years.
What is your current position or assignment there?
Senior Special Agent at the Johnson City Office, assigned to the Criminal Investigation Division.
All right. Agent Fraley, were you called upon to assist in the investigation into the disappearance and subsequently the death of Evelyn Boswell?
Yes, sir, I was.
All right. And do you remember when that was that you were called out to assist in that?
Yes, sir. It was February 19th of 2020.
Okay. And what was your role when you first got called out?
Myself and other agents were called to assist Special Agent Brian Pritchard. He had been called to Sullivan County to assist Sullivan County Sheriff's Department on an Amber Alert on the 18th, the previous day.
Okay. And so when you were first called out, this investigation was in regards to a missing child. Is that correct?
That's correct. Special Agent Pritchard had been contacted on a missing person case that involved Evelyn Boswell. Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is the only state agency that can actually issue Amber Alerts. We were informed that the initial complaint by a family member being the grandfather of Evelyn was Tommy Boswell through Department of Children's Services, also known as DCS, who had contacted the referral to the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department. Sullivan County Sheriff's Department got that referral, contacted us, and Special Agent Pritchard responded after going through a checklist that is required. Instead of just a regular missing person or missing child case, certain things have to be checked off or validated in order to issue a full-blown Amber Alert.
All right. And Agent Fraley, I know you work for the TBI. Were there other law enforcement agencies that were involved in this investigation?
Yes, sir. Once it went to a full Amber Alert, which is probably our highest priority at TBI, the FBI was called. Obviously, Sullivan County Sheriff's Department investigators were already involved along with Agent Pritchard. But once we were involved, we have a specific team just for Amber Alert cases out of Nashville. that also involve other agents and intelligence analysts. The FBI has a specialized team of trained agents called a CART team, and that's a child abduction response team. And these agents are experts in child abduction, Amber Alert type cases. So within hours of the Amber Alert being issued and certified, there was approximately 40 to 50 FBI, TBI, Sullivan County investigators, and intelligence analysts assigned to this case.
So a number of agents across a number of agencies, all out there, essentially, at least initially, looking for a missing child. Is that a
Yes,
fair
sir.
statement?
That's correct.
All right. And so over the first couple of days of your investigation, did you participate in or were you aware of interviews that were done with the defendant, Megan Boswell?
Yes, sir. Megan Boswell provided statements to a numerous amount of investigators early on, including me.
All right. And would it be a fair statement to say that she gave you multiple different versions about what had happened and where her child might be located?
Yes, sir. Repeated stories that we tracked down that turned out to be lies.
Objection, Your Honor. That's speculation.
This is the word lies.
May I continue?
Yes.
Just different statements that she had provided that turned out to be leads that we tracked down over the course of several days and several weeks.
All right. And I guess let me ask you this way, Agent Fraley. Okay, I'm sorry. Were you all ever able to locate Evelyn Boswell?
Yes, sir, we were.
All right. And was that as a result of information? Well, I guess go ahead and tell me how it was that you were able to.
So on March 6th, which this is fast forwarding 17 days since I was brought in with other investigators, 18 days since the initial report on February 18th, we'd been working around the clock. And like I said, there was 40 to 50 of us working, and a phone call was received by Tommy Boswell. Tommy Boswell had called in. And March 6th, 2020 was a Friday. And we'd worked, like I said, 18 days. And we had come to a point in the investigation where we decided we need a break. We had exhausted a lot of resources, time, and we were at a place where we didn't feel we should go on at that time. We should take a break, and it was a good pause point, if you will. So on the afternoon of March 6th, again, it was a Friday, the plan was the investigators to go home, reset physically and mentally. We were exhausted, and try to just get a sense of normalcy, if you will, over the weekend and come back Monday. If anything would have come up, we would have responded. But in late afternoon on the March 6th, on the Friday, Tommy Boswell called in. So we agreed, the four of us, myself, Special Agent Gratz, who's also another TBI agent, investigator Tracy Raz, who is a Sullivan County detective at the time, and investigator Michelle Gillum, who was an investigator at the time. We've been working together for those weeks. We decided, let me back up. Mr. Boswell reported that he wasn't sure if there was a storage.
Objection is what the follow says.
Well, Judge, I'm not offering further. Agent Fraley, as a result of the call that you got, and let's step back a little bit. Tommy Boswell is the defendant's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Megan's father and Evelyn's grandfather.
All right. As a result of the phone call that you received from Mr. Boswell, what did you all do next?
We went to Mr. Boswell property located on Muddy Creek to conduct a search there.
All right. Is that property located in Sullivan County?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I think it's 539
All right.
Muddy Creek Road.
All right. Agent Fraley, in the course of your investigation while you were out there, did you create a sketch or diagram of the Boswell property?
Yes, sir, I did.
All right. If I could, I'm going to hand you a document, ask you if you can identify what's shown.
Excuse me. This is a hand-drawn document. It's a sketch of like an aerial view of the property there at Mr. Boswell's at 539 Muddy Creek Road, Bluntville, Tennessee.
All right. And does that diagram accurately show the layout or the placements of various sheds, outbuildings, trailers, roadways there on the property?
Yes, sir, it does.
Judge, we would move to make that exhibit number 6.
Any objection?
No, sir.
Before we get to it.
And if we could, I'd like to publish that to the jury.
So this witness was boots on the ground for this entire case. So once they got the missing person notification, they searched and searched and searched for almost 2 weeks. And he's so greedy with the pets, and they had nothing. They had, oh no, oh no, no, no.
It got stuck in the branch.
Oh, hush. Do not care. This person, so this investigator was boots on the ground,
Just-
searching.
Step down on it.
And then needed a break. They said, we needed a break. We have exhausted so many resources. We have done so much that we could. We needed a break. And that is when the phone call came from Megan's father, Evelyn's grandfather. And then they went out to his place and searched there. We don't know what the grandfather exactly said, word for word, because that is hearsay. And that's no. We can't get too much into that, but that's 2 weeks looking for a child, an infant, barely a year old, right? All while their mother knows exactly where that child is. Gone. Oh.
I may need him to step down for the witness. I don't know if he can. I can hand him a laser pointer.
As long as we can pick them up on.
I can see that.
Can you see it? Okay,
Yes,
Mayor,
sir.
I didn't know if you would be able to. But, all right. Are you okay?
Yes, sir. I can see that. And I have it in front of me as well
Okay.
on my screen.
All right. If you would kind of point out, I guess, the major landmarks that are shown there in the diagram.
Yes, sir. So this top house here is Tommy Boswell's, as it was described to us. This resident here was a mobile home that was described as his mother's. This is the shed that we had information on right there. And that's like a yard barn or an outbuilding. And then here is notated as what we described and what was described as a playhouse.
I don't know what
Hold on a second.
happened. It's like it lost your.
It's not connected.
You want us to-
I was going to say, if you'll just hand me the.
You got it right there. That's safe.
It did. You need me to disconnect the laptop, Judge? or-
This, I can change it.
Okay. Sorry, man, there you go.
Continue.
Continue.
All right. So yes, right here, behind that shed or yard barn, if you will, was a playhouse, and it's noted Playhouse ROE. ROE is an acronym for us, Recovery of Evidence, which was the body of Evelyn Boswell. Up in the right-hand corner is my notes are like a key to this, which indicates the date, our case number, the location, and my signature with the date, notating that I was the one that drew this sketch.
Agent Fairley, you've got the driveway shown through the middle part of that diagram there. Was there any sort of gate or anything that, as far as being able to enter or exit the property?
I recall, I think there was a gate at the bottom from Muddy Creek Road to the driveway.
Okay. Now, Agent Fairley, you identified an outbuilding that was there on the property. You had said that's where you went first.
That's correct.
Okay. And I guess tell us what you found or what you observed when you went to that outbuilding.
What was found there were multiple boxes of
This is going to be very difficult testimony. This is a fair warning, trigger warning. This is very tough stuff that's going to be said right now. There will be some crime scene pictures shown. Just warning, 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 warning.
Belongings of Megan Boswell that contained a variety of items specific to a young child. I recall there were clothing items, diapers, medicines, toys, those kind of things were the most common thing in those boxes.
Mr. Farrell, I'm going to show you 3 photographs and ask you if you can identify what's shown in those.
And so the first one is the yard barn or shed that was described and depicted in the sketch. The home there to the right was, our understanding, Tommy's mother. That's the first one. The second one is the same yard barn or shed, except in this one it has a picture of the what we were describing as a playhouse behind it. And then the third and final one is a closer photograph of the yard barn or shed with those items I just described.
And those photos accurately show how that shed or outbuilding looked when you arrived there on March the 6th, 2020.
Yes, sir, it does.
Judge, we would move to make those the next exhibits, which I think are 7, 8, and 9.
Objection? Yes. Could it be included? How do you want to display those?
Well, I'll take another shot at trying to use the laptop.
Behind it.
May I see those? Make sure. Okay. All right, Agent Fraley, I'm got up on the screen what's been introduced as Exhibit 7. If you would tell the jury what they're looking at.
So this is the yard barn or shed that I was describing. This was the home that was described to us as Tommy Boswell's mother, and then the items there that you can see with the open door inside of the shed or yard barn.
And next is Exhibit 8.
Yes, sir. Again, the yard barn with the door open, showing those items described. And this building here behind the yard barn is what I described and is notated on my sketch as the playhouse where Evelyn's body was recovered.
And next, Exhibit 9.
Yeah, again, that's just a closer photograph of the yard barn or shed with those items I described placed inside there.
All right. Did you participate in, or I guess, what did you all do with the items that were that you saw located in that outbuilding there?
Those were obviously photographed and documented as what they were processed.
All right. Did you participate in that process, or were you just?
Yeah, I think primarily the two inside there actually searching, going through the items was Special Agent David Gratz and Investigator Tracy Arras.
Okay. Was that the end of your investigation of what you did there on the property?
No, sir, it was not.
Okay. What did you all do next?
So we continued looking and led us to look inside the playhouse.
Right.
And we searched it.
And what did you find, if anything, upon looking in the playhouse?
There were, once the door was opened, right inside the door, as the opening of the door, was a trash can, like a tall kitchen model, a common trash can, and 2 bags of trash beside of it.
It's so absolutely heartbreaking. Incredibly heartbreaking.
Agent Fairley, I'm going to show you a number of photographs and ask you if you can identify what.
What I'm reviewing is a standalone picture of what I described as the playhouse. It was okay. The second one is a closer, of the playhouse, a closer proximity with the door open. The third picture is the same thing with the door open. Third one is a closer photograph with the door open. It does depict, the third one depicts the trash can with the bags of trash, as does the second one depicting the trash can. The first one, the door was closed. The next one depicting an open door with the trash bags and the trash can. The next one, assorted items that were inside the playhouse, and they appeared at that time. They had been there longer than the trash can and trash bags. Again, picture from outside the playhouse looking in where the trash bag or the trash can was. And it's a closer picture that depicts a black trash bag in the top portion of the trash can. The next one is a picture of an area inside the playhouse that had this assorted items there that again appeared to be there for some time with dust and cobwebs on them. Next picture is another picture from right at the doorway. Again, the trash can, the trash bags. Again, another picture of the trash can with the trash bag, or the trash bags. There's other items around these. I keep talking about the trash bags and the trash can because they were relevant to us because they looked like they had recently been put there. These other items had dust and cobwebs and looked like they'd been there for years undisturbed. The last photograph I have is this is my hand in the picture. It's pulling back. It's over the trash can with what appeared to be a leg and a foot of a baby or a baby doll. It appeared at the time with
Thought it was a baby
with
doll.
the fleece blanket and the purple onesie, the clothing that had been described to us by Megan Boswell.
He's getting so emotional, understandably so. They thought it was a doll. They thought it was a doll with the blanket in the clothes that Megan knows what clothes she was wearing when she, holy shit. I'm just going to wait until my internet comes back good to hit play again. Oh, holy crap. They thought it was a doll. I thought it was a doll. Imagine having to sleep every night thinking it was a doll for just a split moment, and then having the realization that it was a little girl you've been looking for.
When you made the observation that you made in the last, you described in the last photograph, did you do anything else with the trash can prior to the medical examiner's office?
No, sir. At that time, we didn't. We stopped what we were doing. We found Megan, or I'm sorry, we found Evelyn, and we made phone calls. We had called the DA's office, advising them that we'd found her. We've called our chain of command, our supervisors, and the medical examiner's office, along with forensic pathology out of Johnson City, and waited till all those personnel arrived.
Okay. Agent Fraley, the photographs that you just described and identified, do they truly and accurately depict the scene as you saw it inside the Playhouse on March the 6th of 2020?
Yes, sir, it does.
Judge, we would move to introduce those as full exhibits at this time.
The full exhibits on any work. 2 minutes the best I did right now. Start for 10. And for not convention.
Okay. Judge, if I could, I'd like to publish those to the jury. All right, Agent Fraley, I'm going to start with Exhibit 10.
Yes, sir.
You would describe what the jury's looking at.
That's a playhouse that was located behind the yard barn.
And if we're looking at it that way, the outbuilding would be where?
The
The
outbuilding yard barn shed is
photos
described would be to the left
of the deceased
to the
will not
left
be shown.
out of the picture back this way from the yard barn or from the playhouse.
And the door, as we're looking at it, that door was closed when you arrived.
Yes, sir. That's how we found it.
Next, I'm going to show you Exhibit 11.
Same playhouse with the door open. And if you look inside the door right here, this white trash can, this is the trash can that I was describing as I was reviewing the photographs.
As you opened the door, was anything disturbed or moved, or, I mean, did anything shift?
No, sir. Nothing fell out onto, as you can see, there's a front porch there. It was opened, and it is as it's seen. Obviously, trash cans kind of tilted the way it is there, and the other items throughout the playhouse.
So the only difference between the prior photograph we looked at and this one is that you all opened the door so that you could see inside. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Next, I'm going to show you Exhibit 12.
Same, obviously, playhouse, just from a different angle. You can see the trash can there on the left, and those two, you can see the main portion of one bag and partial portion, excuse me, of a second trash bag, two white trash bags there. Obviously, other items, the blue tote, the brown piece of furniture, and other items there.
Now we're looking at Exhibit 13.
Yeah, again, they're at the playhouse, just a closer angle or closer photograph right inside the door.
You mentioned earlier that it looked like or appeared to you that some of the items had been there for quite a while, and that some of them did not.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything in that photograph that indicates that to you or that you can see?
Yes, sir. So the trash can and the two bags appeared to me that they had been placed there recently. The other items, like I said, the blue tote, those other things, these right here, that cardboard box, these items back here on the shelf, they just look dated and like they've been undisturbed for quite some time because, again, they had dust and cobwebs located throughout the playhouse, except for that portion right there, right at the front door.
Now I'll show you Exhibit 14.
Yes, sir.
What are we looking at there?
Same thing. That's right inside the playhouse to the right. If you just stuck your head into the playhouse from the doorway, this would be to the right. And again, these items you can see specifically on this bag here. Well, a lot of these things, it's just dust covered, indicating to me that it had been there a while.
Agent Fairley, we're actually, if you're looking at the lower right-hand corner of the photograph, is that the door frame?
This is the right-hand door frame with the clasp for a lock. So yeah, again, like I said, if you were standing outside, just peering inside, that's kind of the angle or the view that's depicted in this photograph.
All right. Now I'll show you Exhibit 15.
Yes. The trash can again, this is taken from outside the doorway. This is me here. So the photograph depicts me, and then inside here, and the trash can with the black trash bag unraveled at that point.
Had the trash bag been pulled up out of the trash can, or was that
Just kind of like the top was opened.
Right.
The trash bag remained in the trash can, but the top was opened.
Now showing you Exhibit 16.
Again, looking inside, was a very small playhouse. I don't recall the dimensions, but maybe 10 by 10, 12 by 12, a small floor plan with that. And then those were steps leading up to like a little loft inside that playhouse. Again,
This is Exhibit 17.
Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
Go ahead.
Again, just another photograph of the trash can and the two bags. There's a keyboard there, a piece of furniture. Again, the blue tote. Just multiple pictures of kind of like the same thing, same angle, same point of view. Just multiple pictures of that. Again, the trash can again.
This is Exhibit 18.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Again, the trash can with the black trash bag inside the trash can. Blue tote, other items there inside the playhouse.
Agent Fairley, there appears to be something on the inside of the white trash can. Were you able to?
Right there. Right there.
Okay. What is that we're seeing or looking at?
I can't see clearly what that is. I don't know if there's another piece
Okay.
of trash bag.
Okay. And Exhibit 19.
Even blurred, I don't mess with. So okay. So it was a a blurred photo, completely blurred, thankfully, of them discovering Evelyn Boswell's body inside the garbage bag inside of the trash can. I am going to.
Did you in any way disturb or move or do anything with the contents of the trash can?
No, the glove in the top portion of that is my hand, pulling that back to confirm and take a photograph. That was the only thing we disturbed, if you will,
All right.
to take the photograph. And then at that point, we stopped and then made the appropriate phone calls to the medical examiner, forensic pathologist, our chain of command, and the DA's office.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So what happened after you made those phone calls as far as the investigation was concerned?
So after that, like I said, all these people arrived, and our concern is to process the evidence. We did so at the direction of the forensic pathologist. And so what decision was made was on that front porch of that playhouse, which was just right outside the doorway, was to place a body bag there on the front porch. Open, they unzip and they open. So we placed a body bag there, and I brought the trash can out, and we started removing the contents of the trash can onto the body bag that was opened.
All right. And did you participate in that process with
That's
folks
a
from
smart
the
idea.
medical examiner's office?
Yes, sir. It was Laura Parsons, who works with the forensic pathology, and Dr. Matrina Schmidt, who is the forensic pathologist there.
And so you actually helped them and assisted them in removing the body from the trash can?
Yes, sir. Like I said, the body bag was there, and I removed the contents and the body of Evelyn Boswell onto the body bag where we could start processing what was inside the trash can, which additional evidence was in addition to the body of Evelyn.
And was this whole entire process photographed?
Yes, sir, it was.
The pool camera operators are messy. They're messy. They are messy and they know it. They pulled over to Megan because she started showing some emotions and just sort of lingered. Now, very similar to let's see. All right. Very similar to many cases where we have a defendant who is most likely just a liar and is just crossing their fingers to get away with all the crimes that they committed. And I'm allowed to make that judgment because I'm not a lawyer. You're not innocent until proven guilty to a normal everyday person. That only works in the eyes of the law. Okay. To me, you're already guilty. Sorry. But I also have no power in the control of the final outcome. So it doesn't matter. We're going to skip ahead to very heavy, such a heavy trial. We are going to skip ahead. This is day 1. And we are done with day 1. We are going to go to day 2. And we are going to go here. Da, 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 da. Nope. There we go. And let me just share this and we'll just go to day 2. We'll pick up with that same witness that we were just hanging out with. But what we're going to do is put this in where that was at 1.35 speed. So that's how slow their accents are compared to us up here in fast talk in New York. I would not be able to handle it if I was in that courtroom. I'd be like, please speak faster.
Gave you some admonitions yesterday before you left for the day. Does any juror have anything to report? If you do, raise your right hand. The record reflects that none of the jurors have raised their right hand. I believe we were beginning cross-examination. Mr. Scott?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Good morning, Mr. Fraley. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Fine, thank you.
I want to start where General Harper left off yesterday.
Okay.
You were asked, you conducted an interview of Megan on February the 25th of 2000.
Yes, sir. Myself and Detective Licklider from the Sheriff's Department.
And in that interview, you talked with her about the child being dead
Yes, sir.
and some other things.
Yes, sir.
Judge, this time we'd ask to show that video.
I'm pretty sure I know the date. I think you said the February 25th. I think you said February 25th. So we are going to see footage of Megan prior to this when it comes to interviews with police, like law enforcement officials. But I believe that this is the 25th. Right.
You know this, okay. You know that. If you
I tell you, I think all of that.
and look where you go. Yeah, don't we need to bring her on, man? Don't wait as long as it's not too long. Okay, this is for your baby. This is to give her.
Okay, we're going to slow this down. It is a little hard to hear. We're going to slow this down and go back just a little bit. Let's go back to normal speed. Let's go back. I'm a little lost. I do have some questions because the answers we definitely skipped over. But
You know this, okay. You know like this is the last day. If you
I tell you, I think all of that.
and look where you go. Yeah, but don't we need to bring her on, man? Don't wait as long as it's not too long. Okay, this is for your baby. This is to give her the proper and where she is.
There's only two different places I can make the first year.
Where she
She
is.
said they put her somewhere closer. I think she's somewhere at dad's or at his house.
Okay, his house.
Maybe somewhere like, that like the dog somewhere. I think she's either there or she's somewhere at dad's. So she's somewhere close.
Underneath the dock at Hunter's.
I don't know if she's gonna be there. I'm just,
Is that what you're trying to tell me? I'm not putting words in your mouth.
that is just my theory. She has to be
No,
more like
no, I don't want to, we're not working at your side. You need to bring her home.
he said that she was somewhere close. So only two places I can think that he would take her.
This is, you're not honest with you. Okay, but you know this part.
I don't know for sure. I'm trying to help you all. I swear I am at this point in time.
This is the ending. Okay, let's bring her home. Let's bring her home.
There's a bunch of places I think that he would even have time to take her. Children not very long.
Well, regardless of time, there has to be a reason that you would know that. Okay, because that
He said she was somewhere close.
in that time, there's only X amount of places she could be. Okay, but you're specifically narrowing down those two places. Right, you know that.
I think she was somewhere close.
Help me with this, Megan. When he took her out with the driver, how was she dressed?
That picture I have of her, she's in her old pink suit.
She's in the penguin suit. Is she wrapped up in her blanket?
She was wrapped up in
Did you give her to him?
a picture of her
You picked her up, or was she?
on the bed. I held her for hours, so I just want to let her go.
And that's okay. We need to bring her home. Okay? We need to bring her home today. Just tell us where we can go get her.
I don't know for sure how old you are. I think she's at.
Okay, hold on. You held her for hours.
Yeah.
She was in what? How was she dressed?
That picture of me and her were sitting outside the trailer, and she was
Yes.
probably in tears. That little purple thing on.
Yes.
She was sitting
And she was wrapped up in a blanket.
like a dark colored blanket, a thick fleece blanket.
And he took her from you? Where did he put her? What car was he driving?
I read the car.
The red car? Did he put her in the trunk?
I don't know. I didn't go out
Did
there.
you go outside with him? What time of day was it?
It was close to the dark.
Was it close to dark or was it
It was
dark?
close to the dark.
What day was it?
I don't know what day it was for sure, to be honest with you.
So, how long was he gone?
Less than an hour.
Was it 15 minutes or 30 minutes or 45 minutes?
Maybe like 45. And he kept saying, she's somewhere close, Papa.
Did he ever take you back to where it was? Between then and now? And this was in December, early December. Was it after you started working at the chicken? How long after?
Not too long.
You started on Monday, right?
Right?
Was it Tuesday?
No, it was a week or two after.
It's a week or two after.
Closer to 2 weeks.
So about December 10th. What do you remember about that day? Did you wake up or what happened?
I don't know. I rolled over on her. I don't think I did. I think she did it. It was an accident.
So he was sleeping in bed with you? Was the three of y'all together? In the bed?
In between us.
Okay.
I should have put her just on my side. I slept with her almost every night of her life before that, and I never once rolled over on her.
But when you woke up, she wasn't breathing. Is that what you're telling us?
Her head was like buried in her pillow. She wasn't breathing.
Okay. So, there. So do you tell him, hey,
I was saying again, he was like, well, you can't call anyone, we're both going to
why
go to
can't you
jail.
call someone
Because he said we were both going to go to jail if he didn't care of it.
for her just rolling over, or you rolling over on him or on her?
I don't think I rolled over on her. I don't know if he did an accident or what, but like I said, I slept with her like her whole life before that. With her up against me right next to me, I never rolled over on her.
We need to bring her home. You need that peace. Mom needs that peace. Everybody needs that peace. We need that peace. Help us bring her home. You're the only one that
I
knows.
told you all the only places I know he could have went.
Where? Name it.
My dad's in his house.
When you say your dad's, where are you talking about your dad?
I'm ready for you.
Because he wouldn't have taken her inside the house and said, hey, Tommy.
Well, I don't know. I think he was
Why
alive.
would he take her back to Tommy's?
He said he was going to take her somewhere close.
See, I don't think he would have taken her to Tommy's. That's too much of a risk. Why would he do that?
I don't know.
What if your dad would call him? I don't think she went there.
Look, can you all just please check and then
We're
check
going to
everybody?
check everywhere we believe she may be.
Okay.
But again, we need to understand where she's at.
I don't know for sure where she's at.
When you say for sure,
I just have guesses and I've told you two what they are.
and why has Hunter never spoke to you about this?
I don't want to
When
know.
he came back, what did he say?
I'll put her somewhere close.
Did he say how he put her?
No, I
Did he
didn't want to
throw her in
know.
the trash can? Did he throw her in the lake? Did he bury her?
I didn't want to know.
What did he say?
Just that she was somewhere close and not to worry about it.
Megan, you lied to us for 6 days now. I need you to be truthful with me today.
I am being truthful.
No, just hear me out, okay? I need you to be truthful with me today. We're getting there. We need her brought home. She don't need to be laid out in the woods in the cold anymore. She needs to be buried. She deserves that. You need to help us bring her home. Please. Tell us where she's at.
I don't know for sure. I really don't. I don't want to know.
I think you do, Maggie. I think you're scared to tell us.
I don't. I told you the only two places I think she could be.
When you say the boat dock, what do you mean by the boat dock?
I don't know. Maybe he buried her there, but
Did he mention the boat dock?
no. But he said he took her somewhere close and he wasn't gone very long.
Did he drive away with her? Was she placed in the trunk?
I don't know for sure.
You didn't look out the window.
No, I didn't want to.
Who did you call?
Nobody. I was scared to call anybody.
Did he call you while he was gone?
No.
And it was dark. close to getting dark?
It was dark by the time he got back.
It was light when he left and dark when he got back. We need to bring her home. If she's laying out there somewhere, she deserves better than that.
I don't know. I told you go into places I could think me to take her.
Okay.
What are you all going to tell my dad when you go to search his property?
What should we tell her?
I don't know.
She's buried on that property.
I don't know if she is or she isn't. I really don't know. There's a village places I know that he didn't have time to go to because
Did her take a shovel?
no.
Did he take a trash bag? Did he carry her out in that blanket, a box, or a box? Jumping in the
I
box?
stayed in the bedroom. I just had her wrapped up in a dark colored blanket.
How big was this blanket?
It was like a normal size, like police blanket.
So when you say wrapped her up, you describe it.
Like, you know, you swaddle a baby.
Okay. So did you leave her face exposed?
That was so stupid. I never heard me cold, so I wrapped her up in a blanket.
So she was the whole body was wrapped up.
Except for her face. You know how you swaddle a baby? You know how you swaddle a baby? So I wrapped it up. I didn't want her to be cold.
We don't want her to be cold anyway. She's still out there and we need to bring her home. And you can help us with that part.
There's a lot of places I'm trying not to go look for it. I need that.
So Hunter's dog. Underneath Hunter's dog.
Or just around the dog.
Okay.
No, thank you if he did take her to his house. He's not stupid enough to, you know what I mean? Put her somewhere inside the house. Dad owns property right next to that place too.
How long did you hold her?
For a long time.
All day?
I didn't want to let her go.
How did you know she was dead?
Because she wasn't breathing. Her eyes were open.
Her eyes were open.
She wasn't breathing. I tried to give her CPR, but she was already gone.
How did you try to give her CPR?
Mouth to mouth.
What else?
That's it. I just held her. Too late.
She gagged or anything while you were trying to give CPR to her?
No.
How did she feel?
What do you mean?
Was she cold?
No.
She's still warm? What about the color?
She was still
Was she blue?
No, not really.
What did she look like?
Just like her. As the day went on, she got colder and put up her in the blanket because I didn't want her cold.
And you don't remember what day that was?
No. I know it sounds bad, but I'm just trying to block it out of my memory as much as I can.
Where would you look at your dad?
I don't know. It has a lot of property back there.
Back behind his house? So where does that connect to? Where does the back of his property connect to?
I don't know. I don't know.
So you,
Yeah, that's what's there. There's that creek and like right up to the asphalt, stuff like that.
you shoot one of those asphalt piles.
I don't know. I really don't.
Is there a lot of asphalt piles on his property?
I don't know if there is any or not.
So I've not been out there. I don't know. I'm asking. Again, that's what I'm trying to do. Maggie. help us bring her home. She don't deserve another night out there in the cold and alone. She needs to be brought home.
I don't know, I really don't. I don't know if he took her in the trash can or not. When he came back and was gone, I didn't want to ask.
Your trash can and the trailer was gone.
I didn't want to ask.
Was there a dumpster anywhere there close?
I don't know, you have to look.
No, to where when you lived there. What did you normally do with your trash?
Took it to the road and the trash can.
So you said to the trash can, the inside trash can, the outside trash
The
can,
inside.
just when you kept in the kitchen.
I don't know if he took it with you or not. I didn't want to know.
You said you sit there and looked at her.
Yeah.
When you woke up and she wasn't breathing, trying to give her CPR. What did her eyes were open? Were they bloodshot?
No.
Were there any bruising around her eyes?
No.
She just looked like she always did, just like she was at peace asleep.
No, her eyes were open.
Her eyes were open. Not bloodshot or bruised.
Not really, no.
Because I can't help but think that's probably a lasting image that you think about Evelyn. So you know her bloodshot eyes were bloodshot or not, or black, and you're not saying they were.
No.
Okay, that they were just open.
I didn't want to let her go. She wasn't cold, and when she started to get cold, I put the blanket around her, but I didn't want her to be cold.
Raylene said, so guilty. Clearly she feels some sort of way, but still take the live baby to a fire station. Good Lord. Oh God, these captions are bad. Yes, these captions are terrible. They're trying to listen through like the speakers, as as well as we are, which is it's bad. It's bad. But yes, I've been listening. I have been watching. I have been here. I'm just dealing with internet stuff. And Spectrum will be getting a call from me. So because it but okay, just a little break from this intense. This is part of the cross-examination of this witness. This is the defense putting this interview out there for the jury to say, see, it was SIDS. She walked in, she saw her baby not breathing. She tried to do mouth to mouth, and then she just didn't know what to do. She was raised in foster care. She did not have a solid childhood. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know that the right things are actually the right things to do. She only knew these things, and she she didn't know any better. She's young. She didn't know any better. But the thing is, the jury has to believe that. The jury has to believe that she was young and dumb and walked into a situation that she had no idea how to handle. The jury has to believe that. The jury has to sit there and say, oh my gosh, she walked in and found her baby not breathing, and she tried everything she knew what to do. She tried mouth to mouth. She tried it. She tried the things, and she didn't know what to do. She didn't know. She didn't want to get in trouble. She's young. She's scared. And she handled this whole situation bad. But let us not forget that she also led the police on a wild goose chase. That she allowed for her baby to just be no longer on Earth, but to be tossed in the trash, if this is the truth. My sperm donor thought it would be fun to put me in a microwave to see if I would fit. Talk about young and dumb. Right. It's horrifying. Some things that that I don't even want to say young people, that people do to their humans that they have created. And in this situation, it wasn't a young and dumb thing, Ray. It was just dumb. You did not deserve a second of that. You did not deserve even someone to think that. That was simply a dumb thing. And in my opinion, youth does not just apply to someone's physical age. It's about their maturity as well. You know, like they could be 70 years old and have a maturity level of a 14-year-old and do something horrific, because we see it all the time. We see old people do horrible things all the time. I mean, you can see, just put in Karen, just put in Karen in YouTube, and you can see all the horrible things that old people do all the time. If this moment is true, where she's sitting inside of the police department, sobbing and snotting and crying and shaking, and telling the story of how she walked in and found her little tiny baby that she produced to this world no longer breathing, and then decided to do nothing and make it worse. That's for the jury to decide. Is this absolutely horrendous? Yes. Am I so furious that I don't even know words anymore? Yes. This is the defense saying, you guys are going to come with videos and interviews and interrogations and conversations with my defendant. So can we. She said it right here. This is extremely, extremely, extremely intense. My cat is not affected. He's snoring. Sorry if you hear it. But I am actively working on this internet thing because I feel anger. I feel anger. So let's continue. When this finishes up, we will skip to the next witness that I want to play for y'all.
What woke you up? Was she choking or crying?
No, I just woke
Or
up.
kicking?
No.
If we talked to Hunter, what would he tell us?
The same thing he's been telling you, that he's never met Evelyn, because he told me not to tell anybody that he would go back to jail.
If he has never met Evelyn, how do we make that connection that he has?
I don't know.
Was he ever out in public with her? During this time, how long had you all started dating?
Not long.
Talking about not long, like a week,
Yeah.
a couple of weeks, a month? So prior to you starting at the chicken shack,
No, I didn't know Hunter.
you didn't know him? So the first day you met him was an interview for that job?
Yeah.
When was that?
I don't know.
You started on Monday.
Right, I think it was a couple
The
days
day
before.
before, like on Friday or Saturday?
It was probably like a day or two before.
Did you go there in person and fill out an application?
Yeah. Evelyn said the
And that's the
door was
first
like
time?
Bailey.
Okay, and that's the first time you ever saw him.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
I just filled out an application, that's it.
Did he ask you out on a date? What I'm
No,
getting at?
not until I started working there.
So you started working, he said, okay, you're hired. You started working on December 2nd, on Monday, correct? And then start starting at work. And tell me why I had to go on a date, Monday night, Tuesday. Tell
I
me
don't
about it.
remember the day, I really don't.
Whatever day, whenever you say the first day after the application, that you That was the first time you met him. You started working, which we know that was on a Monday. That's easy. Y'all started flirting at work.
Another major issue I'm having is you're telling me that you do not remember the day that your child stopped breathing and you attempted to save her life. You're telling me you don't remember that day, the time. You don't remember that day. I that to me, everyone experiences everything. Grief, hardships, trauma differently for sure. And I don't want to put anyone in a box that would destroy any mother. I just think that when I go back to my most recent moment of despair, when I got the news that my friend passed away. I remember the time of day. I remember the day. I remember the emotion that I was experiencing. It was immediate confusion. It was I sat in a fog for probably 2-3 full minutes of just completely not comprehending anything. And then I felt this weight just sort of come completely over me. I remember the day. I remember the day. I don't, and that's not to say that everyone would remember the day, but I just don't feel that she would not remember the day. You don't remember the day? I don't know.
Did y'all go out Monday night, that first night?
No, I don't remember what night we went out. I'm just being honest. I really don't.
Okay. But at some point, he started staying with you at the camp or the trailer.
Just one night.
He stayed in one night. Then you said he stayed a couple of nights.
I didn't say that.
You said he had slept together.
Just the one time.
Said y'all had slept together in the bed with her between.
No, you didn't.
Not with her.
She slept in between us.
And so I'm saying, you said you'd done that a couple of nights and
No, I said I've done it 1,000 times where she slept with me. Like her whole life, she slept with me in bed.
And then the one night he stayed was the first night he met her, correct?
I mean, no, he'd seen her like in the car with me at the chicken shack.
Okay. Like a couple of days when you went to get the application, when you applied with Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
And
I came to measure the parking lot. They wanted redone, and I had her in the car with me.
when was that?
I don't know a day.
But you told these guys the other day, y'all went through a timeline. I think I wasn't in there. But y'all went through a timeline.
I don't remember what day I measured the parking lot. I really don't. The day they opened, I came back to the drive-thru after I left, and she was in the car with me too. In the back seat, her car seat. The pink and gray one you all have.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he took her in that trash can?
I don't know, but it was gone. I never wanted to know.
And that's the only two places.
I don't know where else it's close. I think my dad owns his storage unit across from the trailer. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. Does Hunter have a storage building rented from him or something there?
No, but I mean,
Or do you?
no, they're abandoned.
What would you put the baby in there?
I don't know. You are asking me guesses. I'm giving them to you. He likes to lake a lot.
Does he have a boat or anything like that?
He used to.
When you talk about the boat dock, you mentioned boat dock. What do you mean by that? Is he on a boat dock or?
They're behind his dad's house. If you go to 217 Point Drive and look in the backyard, there's 3 huge ass boat docks. I promise you, you will not miss them. They're wide.
That's
Have you
what-
been to that house?
I-
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I did.
Okay.
But of those 3 huge ones that you had, which,
I don't know.
where would you think?
I really don't know, to be honest with you. The only thing I think of is maybe put her in the lake or something.
Do you think you would walk in from there and walk down to the lake?
What do you mean?
What do you?
There's no water there right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You would have to walk down the dock and walk to the lake.
Or you can get to the lake not too far from my trailer. Because it was Lakeview Mobile Home Park before my dad.
Is there a place you can drive down from there?
I really don't know, to be honest. Isn't there like an access something on Sugar
That's what
Hall?
I'm asking. I don't know. There is. You're talking about the ramp, the new ramp they built down there? There is. You talking about the one on Sugar Hall, or you talking about the one on the Rock Bridge? Just before the bridge. They built a new ramp down there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay. Which one are you talking about on Sugar Hall?
Well, I just passed one that's the Sugar Hall access part.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me talk to my mom.
You're welcome. Let us participate in your rest. Okay? You come off that part. All right, we talked. This is,
Those are the only places I know for you all to go, I swear.
you're positive.
Positive.
Because listen,
Those are the
At the beginning of this interview, there was a prisoner who was in the room, and then she exited. That was Megan's mother. She requested to speak to her mom, and her mom was an inmate. This is very interesting.
so you're telling me all these other stories that you told me. All those before, those are lies. This is the truth.
This is the God honest truth.
Okay, that timeline, all the dates that you gave, all that stuff prior, all that stuff was made up. And you want, why do you want to come clean now? What benefit do you have?
I don't, but you talk to me. Be honest with me.
Is it for me or is it for your baby?
For my baby, but you're the one who were like, hey, like, it's been going on long enough, you know what I'm saying?
And it's time to put it into. You have no idea.
I told you the only place that I think you could have went in that short time frame.
I'm gonna step in here, I'm gonna try to look in the map for most places.
Can you bring me a map and I'll try to mark on it where I think?
You need any drink thing? All right, I'm gonna grab a chair. Here we got some maps. Let's see. That one.
Okay, now they're going to go through some maps, and she's going to point out some places that she thinks her child's father her child's father would have put Evelyn. This entire interview was her coming clean, air quotes, solid as air quotes. This entire interview was her finally coming clean. And you just heard the investigator ask her, why now? Why are you telling all of us this now? Why are you giving us this information? Why now? And she said, because you listened to me, and it's, I'm doing this for you. And is it sorry, is it for me, or is it for you, or is it for Evelyn? Is it for your daughter, who needed someone to take care of her. And that to me, her being unable to answer the question, this is for Evelyn, is basically everything that we needed to hear when it comes to her ability to be a mother, when it comes to her ability to be a good person. Her finally saying Evelyn was not alive, Evelyn was not breathing, all of these things, giving a little bit to the investigators was her, in my opinion, was her trying to cover her bum a little bit when it came to her recklessness and her inability to be a good enough mom to keep her child alive. That was her trying to say, I did the good, but someone else did all of this extra bad afterwards. This was not, in my opinion, her telling the truth. This was her covering her little, I'm so young, I am just a child myself behind. That's what I'm experiencing with this. It does not feel good. It does not feel like, oh my gosh, finally we're getting some truth. It does not feel like that was given to us in this interview. It feels like she's trying to pass the blame onto everyone else, and for her blame to be lightened as much as possible. Recognizing that this is now an issue. You're sitting inside of an interview room in the police station. You're not free to go. You're free to go, but you're not off the hook. And so now she's assisting. We're gonna go get some maps. Okay, well, if you bring them in, I can mark them. Now she's assisting. She feels like she's done enough to make it so she is pretty much off the hook. She has done enough to be like, see, I'm helping y'all. See, I'm helping y'all. I also want to find Evelyn, I guess, is what I'm getting from. I can help. Sure, bring the maps and I can help.
This one, okay, 543 Muddy Creek. Is that his dad's?
No, not. This is his dad.
Okay, so we got 3 maps here. So here, just take this. And I know they're kind of small. This is that's where you were staying, I think, right? That's
That's Boswell Road.
Okay, this is Sandy Point Street. This is Muddy Creek Road. And this is where your trailer was, right? Is that right there?
Well, where's the access part of Sugar Hole Road?
So
Is it right here?
you got Sugar Hole Road, and you should have the ball bridge here.
And there's Sugar Hole Road away. Okay, so right across from here, there's like a storage building, like going back up towards that, whatchamacallit.
But you said those are empty, right? Or
It's
on those?
I don't know.
Okay.
I thought my dad might have this over.
You just mark wherever you think, like I said, you mentioned that he had just a limited amount of time.
Well, these are the only places I think on this map.
Okay, but then you just mark where.
This is like the storage unit.
And is that for both of them?
That's an access part of Sugar Hole.
Where's his dad's house? Is that here?
Yeah. Well, I don't know anywhere else except for there and Muddy Creek.
Okay, well, just mark that, mark what that is, both dots. Put your links down. Is his,
So I just put Randy's house.
yeah, that's fine. Okay. Anything else you can think of? And if you don't care, just mark, I don't think storage. I think from what you're telling me, if she's in one of these two places. So just write what she was wearing, if you don't care. And that's just whatever, what'd you say her clothing was? Was it her little jumpsuit, purple fleece? And a sleeper, or was she wrapped up in a blanket? Now, those, hey, this might be hard for her. Write down how she was. Her eyes open. Just like she was sleeping, right? No bloodshot, but they were open. She was warm. And all her color was there. She wasn't blue or gray or anything like that, right? Okay. All right. And that would have been 1st of December. Okay. Is that right? Like the first week?
Second week, probably.
Second week. And that's December. Anything else you can think of? Anybody else you think Hunter may have told his best friend is? I mean, I'm just asking. You may or may
The
not.
only person I know that he's really close to is his mom.
Do you think she knows anything?
His mom would defend him like to the end of the earth.
Okay.
Because I know exactly he's gonna be like, well, I didn't have anything to do with that. He's gonna go back to jail, and his mom likes that and support him on whatever the hell he says to her.
What else has he been in jail for?
I don't know.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I don't.
Okay. All right. Let me go out here. Do you need to leave, or you want to hang out here? What do you want to do?
Well, I can't leave.
Huh? Why not?
I figured you all were going to arrest me after I told you.
For what?
For withholding information.
Why would we arrest you?
For withholding information and impeding an investigation.
Well, here's how this works. And again, I'm not talking too much, but I need you to understand. Number one, I need you to understand that
I figured y'all were gonna arrest me. All right, girl. I mean, if showing your hand is what you want to do, then be my guest. This was. I don't think that. Oh boy, the defense is using this video to make sure the jury can get another viewpoint of what the prosecution is handing them. And she just said, I thought y'all were going to arrest me, you know, for telling you all the things I just did, for this, for that. Girl, put your cards back down.
I'm not going to lie to you about anything, okay? That's not what I'm in the business of doing. I need you to understand, too, that we confer with the DA's office, okay? Before we make any kind of decision like that, that's out of our hands. But I need you to understand that I can help you, okay? You've not helped yourself at all during this whole ordeal. You know that. You're not done. No way in shape or form are you done, Maggie. You're smarter than this, than what you've let on. You have lied repeatedly, more times than we. And to be honest, didn't you go on the news last night and say that TBI? Who? You go on the news last night and tell that TBI is not doing our job. You've been up here 100 times. How many TBI agents you see running around? How many Sullivan County investigators you see running around? How many FBI agents you see? We are breaking our backs to bring her home. Then you go out there and do that. That bothers us. But again, we're not in it for anything but to get and bring her home. And you hold the key to that. So with that being said, we're the only ones that can help you. And what I mean by that, and I want you to hear me out, what I mean by that is that when we talk to that DA's office and they say, hey, what did she, well, they're going to say, hey, because we have talked to them, we know she's lied for 6 days now. 5 days, whatever it is. I haven't seen a, many of us have not seen a full night's sleep in well over a week because of this.
Lay it on.
But when they go to and say, hey, what did she tell you other than the lies? Because how many lies have you told us? How many? Dozens? Just say it. Let me help you. I'm here to help you. How many lies have you told us? A lot.
A lot of lies.
Every day you talk to us, right? I need to go to him, the DA, and say, look, I get it, she lied. She was a scared mother who didn't know what to do. Okay? But today, when he and I were in here and talked to us, when you first talked to him, she started to tell us the truth. That truth is what's going to be able for me and him to go to the DA and say, hey, we know she told all these lies. She's telling the truth now. We can help her. We'll go to bat for her. And that's what we're willing to do, is to go to bat for her. Regardless of how many lies you told, we can start over right now. And I can go back for you and say, hey, look, she was scared. We just need to bring her home. Hey, you need to help us do that. This is a start. But you should, again, you just need to understand my perspective. You've been lied to before. How did it make you feel?
Mad.
And that was only
Yeah.
something trivial. A boyfriend lied to you about going out with a girl or something like that. We're trying to bring her home. Dozens of guys out here and women out here, and in Quantico, Virginia, Nashville, Tennessee, and Atlanta, Georgia, are all working this thing. That's all we're working right now. To bring her home. Help me tell the DA she was finally the key that brought Evelyn home. I need you to be honest with us. Can you be honest with us?
I am being honest with you.
Is there any place other than here that she is that you know of?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Anything else you think might be important? Anything else you want to tell us? Okay. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
I mean, I can't go.
You're not under arrest. I say all that to say that to be clear. You're free to go. Just you tell us you want to hang out here. That's fine. We'll continue to help you out. But again, the lies are over.
The lies are over. I am going to do something. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to restart another one. Raylene, I'll send you the link. I am going to end the stream because there's one thing that I need to try and I have to do it not live. I'm going to end the stream and then I'm going to pick back up right here. So give me like 6 minutes. I'm going to end the stream, make a new one, and I will be right back. So I will see you all in just a minute. Sorry, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. Okay, bye.